Hagsamek, y'all. It is night 8 of Hanukkah, so this is the grand finale. I hope you have been having a wonderful last 8 days. I hope that you've had subtle and big miracles coming through. Tonight we're here for our Romance Oracle reading for the week. We are using the Romance Oracle angels and clarifying with the Tarot of the Psychic Heart. And we've already got a couple of jumpers, and I'm just going to tell y'all right now, I'm so excited. I've been accidentally manifesting like scenes from holiday movies or holiday moments from movies, and like I got some gold hoops that reminded me of the part in Mean Girls where she was like talking about her Hanukkah gold hoops, and I was like, oh my god, I accidentally manifested like gold hoops for Hanukkah. And then there was a couple other things. I manifested this jacket. I've wanted it from Madewell for forever, and it went on sale on Black Friday, and I've been waiting for that to happen for years, and it never happens. So I was able to manifest that, and then so that wasn't really movie related, but this other thing that I did, I caught myself doing this today. Do you guys know this scene? I was laughing at myself at the grocery store. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm like really getting all my craving foods and living it up. It's the last night of Hanukkah. It's going to be festive, and I've been good sort of since like Thanksgiving. So I decided to like go ham at the grocery store, and I realized that I was getting everything that Cameron Diaz gets in the holiday. So I am going to be Cameron Diaz tonight in cute knitted loungewear with all the foods. I've got the olives, the chocolates, the cheese, the wine, like various olives. I've got pistachio macaroons for my Hanukkah Mezzano connection, truffles, white cheddar with cranberry, like chocolate covered almonds, and then stuffed grape leaves. And then I've just got that to munch on, but I do have like leftover food. But there's like a girl dinner feast going on right now, so I'm pretty excited. So I'm gonna romance myself. Yay! Okay, so the first two cards that jumped out were Worth Waiting For and Separation. So right off the bat, it's either, you're in separation from this person coming in, and it's going to be worth waiting for. So you're currently not, together yet. Maybe you haven't met them. This isn't a thing yet, and it's coming around the corner, but it's worth holding out for. So don't go rushing out and, getting caught up in the idea of cuffing season, so to speak, and get yourself involved with someone that you're not really super into, because there might be something really worthwhile coming, and it's worth waiting for. This could mean that the person that is on the horizon is currently becoming separated from maybe a current relationship. So, things take time, and they take time to process, and they take time to heal afterwards. So, if you are looking for something that is legitimate, and, and this is also like avoiding like predictive messages of like there's a specific person coming around the corner and they're getting out of this relationship. It's like we should think about things also from a perspective of we can't like rely on this sentiment that there is like one person out there for us. Maybe that's true, maybe it's not. But in the meantime, someone that is worth waiting for is going to be 100% emotionally and physically available. They're not going to be stuck in a situation where they're like, well, I'm separating from this thing, or I've recently broken up from so-and-so. There can be people who have been broken up with someone for years and still not be over it, and they're not like emotionally available. So instead of involving yourself with someone who's caught up in the separation, hold out for someone who's actually available. All right, what else do we need to know for this week for our love lives? If you guys haven't already, you should go watch the New Moon in Sagittarius Tarot and Oracle workshop. I still need to like do my new moon intention setting for the month. Everything's been going so fast, especially with the Hanukkah ritualing at night. I haven't had time for any extra ritualing. Let's see, what do we need to be carrying with us in our consciousness for this week? Love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you romantically more attractive. So again, you know, while you're in this waiting period and you're feeling like you're maybe separated from the relationship that you want, stop thinking of it or perceiving of it in the vibration or the perception of being separate from what you want. And instead, foster the love that you want within yourself first, and you won't feel separate from anything. And when you're not separate from anything, you're in unity and you're in oneness and wholeness and completion. And so that makes you more attractive for all the things that are in vibrational alignment for you and for your soul. You know, everything that's intended for us is set aside in a spiritual bank account, and it's got our unique signature on it. But we don't get those things until we can vibrationally and spiritually and energetically merit those things, so that we, A, don't get the thing and then ruin it and ruin the thing and ruin our chances at making the thing, you know, making the most of the potential in that situation, or getting the thing and it ruining us and preventing us from, you know, revealing more of our potential, right? Because sometimes when we don't have something that we want, our spiritual hunger is not satiated. And so we're willing to do more work on ourselves and you know, in our consciousness, because we have this dangling carrot and a motivating force. Whereas, you know, many times, you know, when we feel so fulfilled, like we've got everything that we want, we get complacent. So use this time as a time to really go deep and get solid in the love yourself first, loving yourself. You know, this is the deep inner work where you spend time, you know, in reflection. Like right now, we're in Mercury retrograde. It's the end of the year. We're in retrograde in Sagittarius, which is a very philosophical, big vision, deep thinking sign. So this is a great time to sit still with ourselves and evaluate where we've come from and where we've been and where we're going. And, you know, honor all of the challenges that we've been through this year, honor all of the, you know, successes that we've had, and get a vision and an excitement for the year to come. What do we want to see come into fruition? What are some action steps that we feel divinely inspired will lead us in that direction? So again, like, this is a great time to really go deep with the self. And that way, if you do meet someone coming up around the corner, it's like, oh, my ducks are in a row, already got my sitch executed, and I am ready to start having fun. Because you know what? When you start seeing someone, it takes time and it takes energy and attention. And so if you've got this master plan for yourself, or you've got things that you want to wrap up for the end of the year, this is a great time to do it. It doesn't look like we're going to be forging forward this week. It's more like, you know, getting really cozy with the self. And then heart-to-heart conversations. So getting real with yourself. You know, there are things that have been coming up in our readings that suggests that we are healing certain patterns and relationship dynamics this week. And we are drawing from the power of the miracles of Hanukkah. And we are asking for God's help in overcoming those things within ourselves that keep perpetuating these same cycles, right? So what can I change? What can be healed and changed within me that will help lead to me having more improved relationships with friends, family, coworkers, and then, you know, potential romantic partners, right? So you may need to have heart-to-heart conversations with people in your life to iron things out and to start mending, you know, maybe old wounds, and, you know, just coming together in a sense of unity with generally the relationships that surround you in your inner circle and your community. And when you get those right, you're putting out a better more positive vibration of love, unconditional love, compassion, unity. You're putting that lightness out into the world, which is more attractive. So, resolving relationship problems that are scattered throughout, some of the other areas of your life that have nothing to do with romance will help pave the way and unlock the miracle for the romance to come into your life. The lesson that we've been learning this week with Hanukkah is that when we go in deep and we resolve the inner challenges that have plagued us for, so long, when we overcome these lower parts of ourselves that are difficult to master, it's like this act of self-sacrifice that opens up the power of the miracle to come through for us. It's like abracadabra, the magic, waving the magic wand. It's doing that act that sets the magic in motion, that opens us up to the miracles, right? So, the self-sacrifice is, maybe you don't agree fully with an individual. Maybe you don't see eye to eye, but can you come together and respect each other's individuality and allow each to live and let live, and find a way that even though you don't see eye to eye, you can still come together and for love and unity and forgiveness and do the best you can going forward, right? Doesn't mean you have to be best bosom friends with this person. It just means, can you put your differences aside and let the grudge be melted away? You just don't want to carry around hard feelings in your heart, because it puts that out there in, your kind of vibrational energetic signature, and it's repellent to love. It doesn't have a vibrational affinity with love. So it has a vibrational affinity with separation. And so it keeps you in separation. Whereas, allowing grudges to dissolve, even if you might be right, even if you might be justified, even if you're so righteous and you're so justified and you're so right, and someone really was just an absolute heel and they wronged you and they deserve all of the, everything that's coming to them. It doesn't matter. The only thing, you're not hurting them. You're hurting yourself by holding that grudge. So it's like, would you rather be right and justified and have that little pleasure of the fulfillment of feeling justified in your wrath and in your anger, but you continue to keep yourself in separation from the love that you want and the fulfillment and fruition of your dreams and goals? Or do you want to open yourself up to miracles? Because sacrificing that part of your ego that doesn't want to let go is the thing that's going to make way for the miracle to come. Okay, let's get a little bit of clarification. Ooh, I'm so excited. I've got a ritual for Hanukkah, and then I'm going to get into my Karen Diaz holiday snack feast, girl dinner snack feast. Okay, what do we need to know about separation? What is this in regards to? We need some context for separation. Control. Ooh, so control issues coming up. This is 8, so this is strength. When we feel weak, we seek to control. So real strength in a situation comes from gentle persuasion, gentle influence. When we are in complete certainty that the Creator has our back and that we don't have to push anything forward or force anything, we are able to draw from our inner strength to surrender control and trust and have certainty and faith and hope that things are moving in a positive direction, or moving in the direction that the Creator intends for the greatest unfoldment of your soul and your life purpose, right? When we are resting in that faith, we're not grasping for control. If we don't trust and we're in fear and we feel small and insecure and uncertain and, unsure of ourselves, then we're going to try to control everything. We're going to be domineering. We're going to be forceful. So the Strength card usually depicts a feminine mastering a beast and opening or closing their mouth. They have their hands on the jowls of the beast. It's a lion. And so it's basically like learning to subdue our animalistic impulses and reactivity. Because in order to have affinity with the light and to align ourselves with that cosmic flow in the miracle zone, we need to be in a state of cause consciousness. And cause consciousness, the creator, think about the creator. When you think about the Big Bang, when you think about all the abstractness that God is the cause of all. Think about an internal emanating force of light and creation that is just ongoing and perpetual and unfluctuating. So that doesn't change. And our mood, our actions, our, us praying that the team that we want will win the Super Bowl, it doesn't change God. We don't change God. We change, right? And so so God is in cause consciousness at all times. God is sustained and the same and holds that note. The thing that holds the note the strongest, the most sustained, that's going to be the most influential vibration in the situation, because everything else is in flux all the time, right? There's not a good signal. There's not a strong signal. So our strength is resting in the creator. It's being that cause consciousness. I'm not going to get my feathers ruffled. I'm also not going to get overly excited and invest too much right up front. It's like when you're in strength, you can maintain, and you can, instead of being in effect consciousness. When you're in effect consciousness, that's when the neurotic cycles start coming up in the relationship, right? If you're not in a relationship to have the neurotic patterns with, you might neurotically try to start controlling your love life by obsessively trying to make something happen, right? So that is a repellent energy to the universe. So relax, surrender, enjoy the moment as we are in right now. And the more that we embrace the nature of the moment that we're in for what it is, then that opens up more flow for change and movement. Okay, worth waiting for. I've got some wine mulling on the stove. That is worth waiting for. Clarity of belief. I love this. So as we are kind of taking our time and waiting through this period of, inactivity or uncertainty or things shifting and changing, it's like as we go through this period of healing, reflection, we're getting more clarity, right? The further you get from a difficult heartbreak, the more clarity that you have when you go forward and you make new decisions. If you are in the midst of a broken heart, and you're still wrestling with all of those emotions, you don't really have any real clarity. Everything is skewed by that upset. So again, it maybe you are the person in the situation where you're like, I feel fine. I've been working on myself. Everything's good. You may have someone coming into your sphere who's working on these things, who's getting more clarity, and you're waiting on them. Who knows, right? But as you sit with yourself and you do this inner work, you're going to get more clarity about what it is that you want in a partner as you're looking for these things and these people. And you're going to get more clear about who it is that you are wanting to become as a partner, what you want to offer to the picture as a person in the relationship. Okay. What more do we need to know about loving yourself first? Dreams coming true. Yay. Okay, so there have been messages this week of coming together. Things are coming together. And as we're doing this healing work, as we're letting go of our grudges, as we're sacrificing the ego, things are coming together more and more. So it's as we're sacrificing the ego, as we're shedding layers of this negativity, we also want to apply loving the self first to deepen our self-worth, deepen our sense of deservingness, and this is going to make us even more magnetic. When you love yourself, other people love you too. I mean, you're not for everyone, so there's always going to be those, people that just don't get you and they don't like you, you're not for them. But generally speaking, when we love ourselves and we have respect for ourselves and we care about ourselves, it inspires others to feel the same way around us because it's in our aura, right? We're vibrating with love. And so when other people get close to that, it activates the love in their aura too. So dreams coming true, it's going to come from you doing acts of love for yourself. And a lot of that has to do with consistently showing up with the behaviors that support your dreams, the dreams for your relationships. So if you're wanting to call in someone who is going to be a real long-term possibility for you, you're not going to want to be messing around with people that you're not taking seriously as a partner, right? Just to have something to do, just to give yourself, something, be authentic, stick to your guns right now, hold out for what you really want. Make sure that's in alignment with your long-term values. Okay, heart-to-heart conversations. Just breathe. So again, don't rush out and feel like you have to say everything that's been on your mind. Just breathe is Four of Swords. It's chill, slow down, think about things, let some healing happen. It's not rush out and make something happen. It's sit, relax, rest. Don't maybe speak up yet. We are in the Mercury retrograde, so maybe get your thoughts and your feelings straight before you have the heart-to-heart conversation. In proactive confrontation steps that we learn in Kabbalah, you can meet with someone on a spiritual level in a meditative, deep imagining, and you can have a conversation with them there that paves the way for you to have that actual conversation in physical, material, real world time. The thing is that if you've had that conversation in that spiritual realm, you may not need to have it after that. The situation may resolve itself. You may have made contact with that person. They may have heard you on a deep level, and that might be all that needs to be done. There may still be a conversation that needs to be had, but right now, focus on that step. There's also other factors to consider in the proactive confrontation. Is this person going to be able to hear you? Are you just going to be wasting words, right? Because once you get into these discussions, sometimes they can go off the rails, right? And people can get emotionally triggered and things can be said that can't be unsaid. So that's why we have to be, mindful and choose these moments wisely, because they can be volatile and they can become destructive. That's why we're going to wait it out until it's not so emotionally charged, right? Until there's a little bit more calmness and ability to be open. So now, okay, can this person hear you? Is this good timing? Is this a bad time? Have you ever been heartbroken and you know that rejection is God's protection and this is just the protection of God and someone else is going to come along, and you know that in a couple of weeks you're going to find out something that's going to be oh wow, I'm so glad that I didn't have that, work out after all. But when it's fresh and you're upset and somebody goes straight there, it's so infuriating, is it not? You're still raw. You just need someone to be yeah, that's heartbreaking. That's rough. That's going to take a minute, in a couple of weeks, then you can chime in with rejection is God's protection and all of those wonderful, top 10 greatest hits of basic contrived things to say to someone when you have nothing else to say. But in the meantime, don't jump right into that kind of infuriating, obvious, yeah, I know, I just need someone to sympathize with me, right? So again, think about that. If you're going to have a heart-to-heart conversation, is it the right time? is this, you know, insensitive to push this at a current moment? Will this be more productive to have this conversation at another time, right? Is there something that's going to happen that's going to make the conversation more effective if we wait until then, right? So, you know, those are things to consider. So take those into mind. I'm going to call it a night. I am about to get down with some hymns and some psalms. I love the Hanukkah songs. They're so metal and extreme because like, it's like we're here at Christmas. And so it's like, you know, we're used to hearing like Silent Night, Holy Night, Peace on Earth, Goodwill towards men. But like Hanukkah is like the celebrating of overcoming one's enemy. So the songs are like, when you have prepared the slaughter of the blaspheming foes, then I will complete my song of dedication to the altar. It's like King David's like black metal album. I love it. It's so great. I love it. I love Hebrew psalms, singing them. All right, y'all. Well, I'm going to light these candles. I'm going to have my mezzano macaroon, and then I am going to go hardcore on this girl dinner binge fest, olives and chocolate. And then I'll eat something that's good for me. All right. Ciao.